PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. I guess the news of the world right now is the all-new redesigned 2022 Tundra. As you know, the TRD Pro is kind of an anomaly. This thing is 80 inches wide. It needs side markers now. It takes up the whole lane. We got a giant beast of a half-ton truck coming out. Towing package at 12,000 pounds. So, got a small house, just take your house with you. The power, almost 600 foot-pounds of torque by putting an inline hybrid system. I haven't heard the mileage. I'll tell you my guesstimation. The mileage is going to come from the vehicle being a six-cylinder. So when you're not into the accelerator, everybody knows how a turbocharger works. When you need demand, all the turbo does is add extra air into the intake system. And we don't have a gas pedal anymore. All vehicles have an air pedal. So the computer controls the modulation of fuel. If I'm dumping more air in there, the computer blends the fuel and oxygen ratio at a perfect level. More air, more fuel. Not great gas mileage, but twin turbo, and we've got tremendous power, okay? But when I'm not into the accelerator and I'm not demanding peak performance out of the truck is going to perform as a six-cylinder truck. We reduced weight. We took the leaf springs out and put independent coils. We took some of the steel out and put a high-grade, lightweight, super strong steel in. We were revolutionary with reducing the overall weight of the truck, even making the truck bigger and adding longer beds from a 5-foot to a full-size truck. So we've got a truck that can rival the market. Interesting to me, I'm never one to pull punches. Interesting to me that we launched this on national TV and Toyota released the information. It wasn't Road and Track, it wasn't Car and Driver, it wasn't Consumer Reports. For the first time ever, the manufacturer says, here's the information. You don't have to go to a secondary source. We're going to tell you all about this vehicle. So I guess the timing had to happen because they knew that the information was out there, and that's when they launched it. But December, we're going to start seeing the truck. It'll start trickling January and February. So initially, there's not going to be many of these trucks. I do not want this to interrupt the sales of the 2021 new trucks that are still coming to you, and the trucks that we have are 2021, 20s, 19s, 18s, and 17s that are hard to source as pre-owned and certified trucks. Here's where I think the change is going to be. I think I could have made a case over the last 10 years that our half-ton truck was as good a half-ton truck as ever been on the road before. The power plant of the 5.7 is unbelievable. The longevity, most of you know that my wife had a Tundra, 2008. We sold it with 262,000 miles on it. And I'll be honest with you, here's what I did to the truck the whole time we owned it. I replaced the radiator, I replaced the alternator, and I replaced the air conditioner. That was it. Unbelievable for a truck with over 250,000 miles on it. And the person that bought it from me flew in from Florida to Texas, never seen it before, brought the cash with him, got in the truck, drove back to Florida. That didn't take very long on Auto Trader to sell that, just so you know. So I think that if you look at Ford, you look at GMC, you look at Chevy, and you look at Dodge, they had no advantage over us other than they had a fleet program. You build a lot of numbers if you're doing a fleet program to companies. And I think it's wise. I think Ford has been brilliant. They've been number one forever. If I give a company a great deal on a fleet truck and 200 of their associates drive Ford F-150s as their company truck, when they get ready to buy a personal vehicle, what vehicle are they most comfortable with? What vehicle do they know the most about? A F-150. And so that actually duplicates people going out and buying that as a personal vehicle. We've never been able to do that because we've been working at maximum production in the San Antonio plant since the inception of the Tundra. I mean, we're building every one we possibly can, and really we don't have the numbers to be able to do a fleet account like that because we can't fill the orders. So, these things that we don't talk about very often are just the way it is. However, a lot of shift has gone on. Look at the front end of this truck. Look at the front end of all trucks out there right now. This has kind of become the uniform, the big, bold front grille on the trucks. All trucks are starting to look like this. The new GMC is all front grille. So I've had people say, I don't like the front grille. Well, then you don't like any trucks. You might get a car. So I looked at some numbers and I wanted to go through these. So 2018, Ford F-150 delivered, this is a half-ton Ford, delivered 909,000. In 19, they delivered right at 900,000. In 2020, because of COVID, they were still almost at 800,000. And to date, right now, they're almost 500,000. That's the number one truck. I go back over and look at Chevrolet. They went from 600,000, about 600,000, about the same in 19. That was 18, 19. Same number in 2020. So even though COVID hit, they still at GMC sold about 500,000 trucks, a little over that. Then I look over here at, that was Chevrolet, excuse me, at GMC. GMC is 219,000, and then that stayed about the same to 2020. They did 200, so they went up in the COVID year in number of trucks sold, and they're tracking 160,000 right now. And then I look at Dodge Ram. They started out at 18, a little over 500,000, went over to 600,000, back to 500,000, COVID 2020. And so this is the market that I'm looking at right now for Tundra. I know that there will be some people that have a current model Tundra that will trade for this new Tundra because we have Toyota loyalists. I don't think there's any manufacturer that's ever had more loyal customers than Toyota. You know, even in the back, you know, they take the rest of Toyota, just have toy on the back. They did that for years back in the early 90s, you know. So the funny thing about it is now we have a truck with a 12,000 pound towing capacity with 1,900 pounds of payload, multiple bed links, which is really going to make a big difference, bigger on the inside and super powerful, and the vehicle is going to get better gas mileage. Again, I don't have those mileage numbers, but as soon as they tell me not to tell you and I find out, I'm going to tell you, just so you know. But now you know the horsepower. And what about the pricing? You know, I think that's where that's what I want to know. I know the truck's going to be great. I didn't need to go to the dealer meeting and drive this truck. I know the truck's going to be great. So I look at the new Dodge, the TRX. If you get a launch edition, that's a $90,000 half-ton truck. $90,000. Right now in the world of the car business, everybody's doing an over sticker, you know, over MSRP. So bump stickers 10 grand on that. So you're buying a half-ton truck at 100,000. How close do you get that to a 250 payment? $100,000 for a half-ton truck. Maybe it's worth, they're selling them. Maybe it's worth it. I look at the used trucks that are coming back. I had a friend the other day that bought a 4-year-old, almost 60,000 mile diesel 250 Ford for right at $60,000. You know, I mean, the value these trucks are holding at the auction, 1, 2, 3, and 4 years old, unbelievable. Takes the air out of the room. I look at Chevrolet's new monster truck they've got out right now with all their off-road package on there. That's an $80,000 truck. I look at Raptor, which has been out for a while. The Raptors that are running through the auction that are 2 and 3 years old. I mean, how can you bid on that thing? The first bid, I'm already out. These things are selling for 80 plus the juice. You know, so they're at 90,000. So you've got Chevrolet, GMC, Dodge, and Ford all out there with trucks that are rivaling the $70,000 to $100,000 price point. Where's our price point going to be? You know, this TRD Pro, 80 inches wide, it's a beast. Got the big logo in front. I love this logo. I mean, I'd almost pay all the money, you know, to have it written. So the TRD Pro has Toyota written over there. The logo looks good, but that Toyota and that singular TRD Pro, woo-hoo, that looks really good. And that's going to be a beast. What's the price? If the price point comes in under the domestic manufacturers, we're going to have more crossover than we ever had before. You're going to have pre-owned trucks on your lot. You will have people that will trade in. But I want you to understand, the TRD Pro that we sell right now, in the Texas area, the TSS package, you know, all of the vehicles, your SR5 Tundras that you're getting in right now are super valuable. Do not downsell. There's nothing wrong with the 2021, 2020 Tundra, 2019, 2018 Tundra. Nothing wrong. That truck didn't step back to anybody. It is a beast. It is a workhorse. It will last forever. The resale value should never go down. What we've got now is we've got somebody that's walking into this big giant arena of domestic numbers, and it's going to change a lot of things. Those are my thoughts right now. What you have to sell right now is the current generation Tundra. Never lose focus on that. That's what you have to sell. That's what the customers can buy right now. They're going to be waiting a long time to get this new Tundra. I'm glad the information's out. I'm glad people know about it. And I'd love to find out from you how many people are calling you that own a Dodge. Have your internet department ask. How many people are inquiring information that have a Chevy, GMC, or Ford? Because that is the number that I'm really looking at. So your dealers are coming back from the dealer meeting. Make sure they all drove the truck. They all drove the truck. Ask them their real opinion. I know they're excited, but have them step back, tell you the real opinion of the truck, because we've just made some revolutionary changes. Now that the Tundra changed, here comes the Sequoia. I've seen some spy photos. I don't know if they're real. Haven't put them out there yet. After that comes Tacoma. After that comes 4Runner. We got a good 3-year run coming for every salesperson and manager in the Toyota business. PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.